Hi everyone, welcome to my channel. It is Tarot Time with Cindy, my friends. So it is a general collective because it is general collective reading. Because it is a general collective reading, it may or may not resonate. If it does, I'm glad we're able to connect. If it does not, hopefully the next time, my friends. Now, I pulled out a couple of cards from Oracle decks to get us started here. I'm going to show you those in a second, but I'm going to tell you this is such an interesting reading, and it's reminding me a little bit of I can't remember if it was the Leo or the Sagittarius reading. It's giving me, it's got a very, very strong vibe here that somehow the tables have been turned between you and I'm describing the energy as a foe. It's been kind of like a new little spread that I pulled out, and I thought, oh, this is fun. Let's just see where this goes. I think it was with Sagittarius that I originally did it with. Your energy, your foe's energy, and your friend's energy. And one of the things I really liked, one of the comments that came through on that actually for me, I kind of felt like, yeah, I could see how I would read it that way for myself, was like sometimes we can be our own worst enemy. We can. And then sometimes we can also be our own best friend. So you can also look at that as well in this reading. I will not be reading it in that context, though, that all three of these are your energies, because I do feel like there's something very separate, but I don't want to say that it can't be that, because it is general. So, right? So it's going to come through for people in different ways. So having said that, I could totally understand how some of you could see the foe energy as maybe even becoming aware of a way that you were self-sabotaging or not making the most of your positive attributes or skills. And then the friend could actually be a friend, or it could be how you are starting to process and actually build on those skills and the positive attributes of yourself. So, but as we move forward here, I'm definitely seeing an energy that signifies you. There's three here. There's three very distinct energies. And I will say that something has occurred here. I don't know what it is exactly or how it's happened, but I would describe that the tables have been turned between you and a foe. So this could be someone that you and this person could have been competing for something. This person definitely may have been trying to sabotage you in some way. This energy is going through a very tough lesson right now. This is your foe. Your foe is picking up the talisman energy and the singer of initiation. So this energy needs to protect itself. It's kind of gone into a protective stance. It almost is feeling like me, someone who's kind of like backed into a corner and trying to make sure, like, okay, I've got all areas covered here and I can see what's coming at me. And it really does play out like, I don't know, somehow the tables have been turned here between you and another. And your energy, it's awesome. It's kind of like, it's also very exciting about the future. You have the fairies of the future here, and you have the garden card. Both of these are telling me that you have some really good connections coming towards you in the future, really positive. Also, like, this is about this. The garden card can be about socializing. So I feel like there is some socializing in the future for you. You're moving towards that. You're actually on the path right now. This could even be like, it just could even be like some darker negative energies or sourpusses that have been in your life and they can't come out into the daylight. Giving me that energy too, like, because it's kind of dark, right? This is coming off as kind of dark. The underlying for the fairies too is a singer of transfiguration and glominous doom. Glominous gloom? No, glominous doom. So it's transforming some sort of negative mindset possibly as well, but you're going on a path here where the sun is shining. And that's going to be really relevant in a second here when we look at your friend. So the sun is shining on this path. This path is taking you towards wonderful opportunities in the future for friendship, very positive social growth as well, right? And this just feels like backed into a corner and needing to protect oneself, and the tables have turned. Like there's some lessons here with this card that the singer of initiation is tough lessons. These are things that cannot be avoided. Okay. And I also want to say that the talisman card is also coming up like the foe is protecting themselves from you. And it could be maybe because you're going down a bright path and they can't do that. right? So they're like, well, I'm not going in that. It's almost like a vampire energy, right? Like if the sun has come up and you're walking into the sun and the vampire can't follow you. And you know, some of you that might be very significant. This could have even been like sort of like a vampiric energy, somebody who was feeding off of you and keeping you in the dark. You may have been the light here, but now you're walking into actual light. So it also feels like to me that you're replenishing yourself. Oh, I love this. Actually, this is the context of the entire reading. This is the first card that came out with this, which is the rider, and this is the one on the white horse. And it does signify like positivity. It could be positive news coming forward for you as well. I want to say this is almost like you riding your horse along the path in the sunlight, and going towards, I don't know, possibly it could be for some of you, it could be a specific event in the future. Now your friend's energy is wonderful. This honestly feels like to me it's part of whoever you're walking towards the path here for in your future. This could be a new friend in the future. This is the singer of connection and the sun. Isn't that beautiful, right? Like there's the path. It's kind of like coming out of the shade and walking into the sun. You're going there. The sun is also obviously it does talk about our self-actualization, becoming really clear about who we are and what our internal power is, and exercising that. And then, so to me that feels like with this singer of connection, it is understanding that we are all connected. We're all connected to the foe. We're always connected to the foe. The foe is always connected to us because everything is connected. But this is telling me, where is your consciousness focused on? Right? Like the idea too of every possible reality exists. What is that? What was that phrase that like, oh, I heard this and I thought, well, that's an excellent way of describing it, sort of biblically. But God created, when God finished creating, he was finished. She was finished. Or, I want to say she, because it's like birthing life. But anyways, God is very androgynous, I would imagine. So, but the energy of that, like, so every possibility exists already because creation was complete, right? So, but where does your strongest consciousness go? Where do you direct that? So I do feel like, again, this could be energetically that you are no longer directing your consciousness towards the foe. You are protected. The foe energy is not able to feed off of you. The connection is still there. If you choose to go into a very negative or low vibration or frequency, the foe energy would probably get access to you. Again, so you are honestly stepping into the sun, and then I want to say that you're choosing connections that support you. And this friend, I want to say, is a connection that supports you. It's clear. This is something that that there aren't disguises. You know, this card itself, it looks like to me, I don't know if you see it here in the imagery, but it looks like someone who's doing this. It looks like someone who's doing this, and they have horns coming out of their head. Now, it's also lighting up their crown chakra. So I feel like spirit is trying to work through this person. Like it does give me that feeling of a third energy here. Like an entity, a being, a person. They got to sit for a minute. It's almost like go in a corner and sit for a minute. Yeah, it does have that, right? It's like a timeout. But then it's also, it's so curious the way I'm looking at this and how it's coming through. Because your foe is protecting themselves from you. It's almost like, I want to say it's almost like a bully in the schoolyard. And it's kind of like they've been found out. And then they're told, don't go near the collective. If you go near the collective, I don't know, you're going to have whatever. For consequences exist anymore. There's something that's going to be the consequence here. So it's like, okay, doing everything to stay away from the collective even. It's got that feeling too, and just kind of sitting there. Like, right? It feels like the tables are reversed. I don't know, like maybe this person has been trying to do things that would make you, this person, this energy, would be trying to do things that would make you seem like the bad guy. I mean, that's always often the case. The perpetrator, oh no, I'm the victim here. Okay. Okay. Tarot. So it's tarot time with that. I just thought that's so interesting, this energy. Yeah, really the tables have been turned on your foe here. And you're going into a really excellent, towards very excellent connections in the future. It's also about, like, be present right now. Enjoy the moment that you're in. You're stepping into the sun, so really feel that. Feel the warmth of it, absorb it. Take this moment to really appreciate it. Don't skip forward in this moment. Yeah, it's giving me that vibe, like anytime that I've been in an environment or a situation. Well, I'll even say, like, sometimes, like where I am, I'm kind of like isolated from the rest of the house and what's going on outside when I come down to do this, because it really helps me focus on what I'm doing here. I have tried to eliminate as much distraction as possible, but it can be a little bit void of other stimuli, which is okay because that's not the stimuli that I'm focusing on to do this. But then I'll step outside and it's like it's sunny out and you can feel the warmth. Like it's like every sense starts to come alive. It's kind of like what I'm getting. It's almost like senses of parts of yourself that have been kind of offline, maybe because needing to focus on something else here. So it's giving me this feeling of like really good senses. Like even if you live in an environment where the like anywhere with quite a bit of distance from the equator, north or south, where you can get like true seasonal changes here, and you go through a winter, and you know the only thing that has really felt the air is your face, even if it hasn't been covered up, because you know the air hurts here in Canada. Sometimes the air hurts, but there ain't no crocodiles, water alligators. So, but then it's like walking out with a t-shirt on. You know, and just feeling that air, touch it. It just almost has this feeling like just sit there for a minute. Like you don't necessarily want to project, oh, where this weather's going to go. It's going to get even better. It's just like in this moment and just kind of feeling it. Oh, it feels so nice. All right, so let's continue. Let's look at I'm going to look at each one of these energies kind of carefully and on their own here. You got the Chariot. That's amazing. Over the storm, over the rough seas. Yeah, this energy is really profound. Like you've come. I'm looking at this card. It just looks like almost, I don't know if you can see it, little tiny figures, almost on like slabs of ice in the ocean. And again, it's got that feeling of leaving things behind here. Leaving things behind. Some of you might be moving as well. With the Chariot card, there might be some sort of significant travel that you're going to be doing or that you're preparing to do. But you're not stuck. This energy is indicating that you are no longer stuck. And again, though, it's like your foe is sitting in the corner, has been put in the corner and is making sure you don't come near them. Which is weird because it almost feels like the foe at one point was trying to like see what they could get from you, or curious. Yeah. So the Five of Swords is at the bottom here. I'm going to show you the rest of the cards in a minute. You see how this guy is keeping this little curiosity in the jar? Is it a butterfly? Is it a pixie? Is it a fairy? It's kind of something amazing and magical, right? And I'm going to keep that in the jar and I'm going to keep it there just for myself. So I feel like there's something probably unique about you or your energy, something that stands out about you. And then somebody here either wanted that for themselves, wanted to figure out how they could contain it. Even if they were somehow inflicting a wound on themselves, this person has a nail or something that's in their actual hand. And it's almost feeling like, right, I feel like the nail goes through their hand and then into the lid of the jar. So it's kind of like nobody's taking this, nobody's releasing this And that's my, how I'm gonna keep this for myself at any cost with the Five of Swords. Even if I have to hurt myself. But I feel like it's almost as if, I want to say, it's almost like the glass cracked. Somehow you freed yourself through a way that this energy wouldn't have perceived or anticipated. Like, right, if anyone even comes by to try to free this energy, they can't, because I'm nailed to it. I'm nailed to this energy. Interesting. You have pulled out the Page of Cups and the Page of Swords here. And then you have the Seven of Wands. The Seven of Wands energy to me is feeling like this foe that's protecting itself from you. It almost also feel like with these two pages energy, they feel like revelation. Like something's been revealed to you, something that you understand. Something. So maybe, I don't know, maybe this is identifying the foe. Maybe this is, and as I say that, could it have been, because this is kind of like trickery and sabotage here. Could it have been somebody, almost like, right, like if the bully often has like their own kind of little flying monkeys. People to boost them up and to help their confidence here. Other people that they'll bully and utilize them. But it's almost like the main bully in this has been identified, or they've been identified, and now they're in a very protective stance. Because your revelation, they're protecting themselves from your revelation. And it honestly feels like there's nothing that can stop this. Like you're on the path in the light and they can't walk there. It could be someone who was even just trying to keep you in a negative mindset. Stay in the shadows with me. You know, it could have been someone who you may have at one point thought was a friend, but no. And sometimes when I look at this too, it reminds me of when I was a little kid and I used to like catching fireflies. Who didn't, right? And putting them in the jar. And then like you could be in the darkness. Like you want to take your firefly friend into the darkness, right? Turn the lights off in the bedroom and stick it under your bed and watch the underneath of your bed kind of like glow on and off. And like that's almost like you were the light here. But it's hard to see that light. I can't appreciate that light unless it's in the darkness with me. Like it does have a very juvenile, right? Like as an adult, I wouldn't do that to a firefly now, but it's a way of exploring and understanding your world. But that does feel very juvenile, I mean, for a reading that I'm doing for adults, so. All right. You've had a revelation here. And your enemies are protecting themselves from you. And it could even be karmic. Like the way I say that too, I don't mean it to come across like you're doing anything towards this. Because it's like you're walking into your own future here. You're on your path. It does feel like it could be very karmic. But by saying revelation, I don't know. Maybe there's something here. Maybe for some of you, this is like authorities in some way. Okay, the foe. We're getting the Lovers in the reverse. Ooh, when that comes out in the reverse, like in this context, that's kind of making me feel like someone who was possibly even trying to switch timelines with you in a way, right? Like, this is like something that's not yours. This is not making a divine choice. I don't know, maybe this energy was trying to swap timelines, outcomes with you. Could be like, it could be something like it could be someone that you work with and you're both competing for the same job or position in some way. And this person was trying to maybe sabotage you, give you false information, causing you to make decisions that wouldn't be in your favor, or even have other people. There's something about this energy that feels like not being direct. I'm going to get other people to tell this person, because the more variety that comes to this person, right? Like if you're hearing something from one person and this person is telling you something that doesn't seem very favorable, whether that's about something going on around you, you're going to probably, a lot of people are going to say, okay, I'm going to take that with a grain of salt and just see how that unfolds, because this is one person's opinion. But if it's something though that comes from multiple sources, I don't know why, this is kind of like intuitively coming through. If it's something that comes from multiple sources, it makes it more believable. And then that's kind of giving me like gossip train energy here. Like gossip train energy, it makes it more believable. As well, if it's determined that the information is incorrect, then it can be more difficult to find the original source from where it came from. Your foe. Oh, how interesting. We got the moon. You see how I said, like, everything is always connected. We are all connected to each other. It depends on what frequency we want to sit on. But there's a gap here between you and this foe. Now, the thing that joins you are fears. Like if you fall into the energy of fear, which is low frequency, then that does, enable this energy to connect with you. But right now, it's trying to guard itself against you. The Page of Pentacles in the reverse. Wow, and the Seven of Cups. There's a lesson here that this energy is going to be going through. And it's kind of giving me that feeling of needing to kind of start at square one here. And there's almost like a basic beginning, a basic principle that if you don't understand this first, you can't move forward, right? With the Page of Pentacles, it's kind of like getting the basic principle of something and then stepping forward with that. Okay, yeah, that makes sense. And then building on it more and more and more, right? Like if you're going to learn algebra, you're not going to start off with algebra. You're going to start to learn how to count first. And it's kind of got that feeling. It's almost like an energy of like, wait a second, you need to learn how to count before you do anything. And then the Seven of Cups is confusion. So there is a void, a space that's been put between you and, like, I don't know, a foe, an enemy, a saboteur, and the thing that would link you consciously to this energy, again, would be fear, would be sitting in fear. I do get the impression that this energy has maybe tried to steer you from a path that was meant for you, or trying to claim a path. Feels more like trying to claim a path that was meant for you. And they've got to go back to kind of like ground zero to learn a very rudimentary, a very basic lesson and come out of the fog. Like, well, not come out. It's kind of like going into the fog. It also feels like, to me, in some way here, like this foe energy won't know what you're doing. I mean, there's a part of me that wants to say, but I don't think it's coming through that way. But it's almost like, your own sort of guides, angels, and ancestors are kind of protecting you from this person. I don't think they need to. Like, I think this energy it's been flipped upside down and it's protecting itself from you. So you have a friend here, and it feels like it could be connected to something like if this is the friendship, this is the social that you're moving towards. The collective's friend, the singer of connection, the sun. The Hanged Man. Now, it's interesting. It's coming out in the reverse, When it's in the reverse, I mean, a lot of times it can talk about overinflated ego, but there's something about the way it presents in this card. To me, it's almost like seeing everything correctly. Like seeing everything kind of in the light of day. So there could be something that's going on here. Seeing something in the light of day. And I love how you both have a path here. It's like being able to put foot on the path and walk forward. Also coming out of a period of stagnation or standby. I'm going to clarify that hangman in the reverse though. Wow. Whew, this energy's something else going on here. We have the Awakening card, which is Judgment, the 10 of Swords, and the 3 of Swords. Now, this 3 of Swords is really unique. This deck has 2 3 of Swords and 2 10 of Swords. It's interesting because you actually have a 10 of Swords and a 3 of Swords here. So you have one version of what the two possibilities are for both these cards. The 10 of Swords that you've pulled out is the traditional sense of the 10 of Swords. Like something is going on here where there's a major betrayal. Now this is interesting too, because this could be something that's happened. Maybe the foe is someone who's betrayed a friend here even. And so that would affect you indirectly. I could see that with the cards that the friend is pulling out here. Because this is somebody who's coming to get somebody when they're down and out. This person's already in a position where it's very difficult to defend themselves, and someone is coming in here to kind of give them the final blow, a hidden dagger. But this occurs at a point when someone is supposed to have some type of a new beginning. Huh, interesting. Because the 3 of Swords that comes out is the more positive. It's the evolved 3 of Swords. And you can see it's almost like this person is able to look at things with a very, the perspective of the Hanged Man. A very different perspective. And it is allowing all things to be free. The pain, the thoughts, the ideas, allowing these to move freely. Now, that's very interesting how this has kind of come around here. I'm feeling like this foe for some of you could be indirect. Like, let's say you wanted to, meet with a friend, right? You wanted to meet with a friend, or you're waiting for a friend to come around. And that's not happening, or the friend is getting held up. And, well, the reason for that, though, is the foe, right? Like, this foe is not directly doing anything to you, but they are indirectly by holding back what it is that you were meant to connect with. Because there's a betrayal going on. This person has come to some type of realization. And I feel like this hanged one, the Hanged Man, in the reverse, looking at the path clearly with the 3 of Swords too, is kind of almost like a sense of detachment. Detachment and observation. Almost wanting to maybe, not wanting to, but actually seeing something that they didn't want to see before. And it does look like a type of betrayal. You know, also with this awakening, I'm wondering if this foe was trying to... this new beginning is stolen. Stolen from your friend. And right, we said it, the foe feels like someone who's tried to take your destiny. So this friend is your destiny. It's almost like this foe tried to put themselves in the place of that. Oh, the bottom is the Death card. Nah. It's just something like all things are inevitable. All energies inevitably go their course, do their thing. Let's see the Hanged Man in the reverse. The Hanged Man in the reverse. The 8 of Pentacles and the World. I don't know, it's almost like somebody's closed something off here. Like work. Somebody's closed off work. They've completed something. Someone, this friend has completed something properly and fully. That's good. So that seems good. I want to say there could have been something here. There's something here that I feel like this friend energy has been trying to understand. Because the Hanged Man is not looking within oneself. It's looking outside of your environment and trying to understand what's going on. It's kind of taking a step back and letting things play out. Right? And it's almost been trying, it's like perfecting this. The world, it has been. I don't know how you're connected to this friend. But I feel like, and it could even just be someone who's part of your destiny here. A very positive, high frequency connection that you're meant to make with another person, right? They're showing up as being something that you're walking towards into your future. You're moving there. You got the chariot in the garden. The path is wide. It's wide open for you. Maybe there's been something that's been holding this energy back, or something that it's needed to understand. Possibly even about foe. Maybe this is something that both of you have navigated. Fears, sabotage, bully, awakening. Look at this. The Ace of Swords and the Ten of Swords goes into the Ten of Swords. And who's coming in with that final blow? There's someone coming in with that. Hiya. I don't know, this friend energy has become very, very clear about who's been doing what. The Ten of Swords. The Hierophant, the Chariot, and the Hanged Man. Ooh, that's weird. It's almost kind of giving me this sense here of like some type of obligation. Some type of obligation that somebody has. Is it an obligation? Because the Chariot here. Some type of tradition. Moving away from some type of tradition or obligation. And in doing that, trying to understand the world outside of oneself. The Three of Swords. Check this out. The Nine of Wands, the Lovers, and the Magician. See? The Lovers. That's what the foe has done here. In the reverse, taking something. Trying to manifest something here. It's almost like understanding why something has taken as long as it has. It's weird. You know what this is giving me, this vibe here, like it's almost like defragging a disk, like removing a whole bunch of information from a disk. And it's just kind of going into the ethereal and it's not relevant anymore. Like allowing it and letting it go. Lovers in the reverse. Well, actually, no. Let's do the Talisman. The Talisman for your foe. Back your banks and go. Six of Swords and the Two of Pentacles. You got some choices to make here, foe. It's coming through. God's steering this boat. Whoa. Yeah, I want to say God's come into the spirits come into this person's life pretty hot and heavy. There's some decisions that this energy needs to make. And maybe while it's in the decision mode, it's protecting. I will say too, because God is indifferent to the things that we've done, like energy. We all make mistakes, right? None of us are perfect. You know, first person to cast the stone, don't be in your own glass house. Oh no, I think I combined things. Yeah, the first person without sin to throw the first stone. Because there is this faux energy, it really is giving me the sense here that there's some important choices. It's like learning lessons. I mean, it's learning lessons. The Lovers in the reverse. Just the Three of Cups has come out. It's kind of feeling like maybe, well, it's a third-party energy. It is an interference. It feels like a third-party interference energy. The Moon. The Ten of Wands. Consequences. I don't know. It just sounds like consequences here. Fear of consequences? The fear of the responsibility. Like, right? Like consequences and responsibility, how that's coming across. It's like, yeah, I'm the one that's responsible. And there's consequences with that, right? It's, I don't know, the Page of Pentacles in the reverse. Oh, the Hermit. This is a deep self-reflection, and it is going back. There's an initial lesson here that this energy has not understood. So it's kind of like, I want to say too, it's almost like God's Spirit is working with this person saying, you need to figure out how to fit this, the time for this lesson and the understanding of your consequences into your life here. You got to make time for this. The Seven of Cups. So it's almost too like, an energy, a person who is now, it's kind of like God's keeping them busy. So maybe that's why they're protecting themselves from you. The Star, wow, with the Seven of Cups. I feel like somebody here had a distorted vision. This faux energy had a distorted vision. And it is like, because even if I think about the star, like these are the things that are kind of blessings that are given to us, that are sort of written in the sky, and they're meant for us. Everybody's got that energy. There's things that are just for us. But if we get sidetracked, confused along the way, as we all will at any given point, but then it also comes down to sort of like moral choices here and how we choose to govern ourselves, or if we're even making any active decisions to kind of learn from our mistakes. Right? Like this, it's almost like taking this energy back to that so that it can understand what its true blessings and choices are. And then look at you, the Chariot and the Garden, fairies of the future, the Nine of Swords. Come on now. Come on now. The Nine of Swords and the Justice card. No, come on. Come on now. Don't overthink it. Don't overthink it. Don't think worst case scenario. Look at the difference. Look at, you're coming out of the blue darkness into this bright light of justice. Of justice. Things are being corrected. Things are being corrected here for you. It's curious too, because the way I'm looking at these cards, it's talking so, like your energy right now is talking so much about your future. So maybe the Nine of Swords is a little more reflective of actually how you feel at this point, but you're moving on. Okay, Page of Cups. Wow, that landed on Glominous Doom like nobody's business. The Knight of Cups. Oh my gosh, and the Queen of Cups. Like grow, emotional growth in all the right order here. Very nice. Little bits of hope go a long way. Yeah, a little bit of hope will take you a long way here. Now here's also the interesting thing. It's almost like an elevation, because the page is starting off on the ship, right? And the water is quite choppy, and the page is like, oh geez, I got to figure out how to manage this. Could be managing choppy emotions or managing a choppy situation, but right? But then the Chariot, taking all of this water energy into actually a major arcana here. There it is. Flying above. Yeah, how to get through the storm? Fly above it. The Page of Swords. Interesting. You got the Six of Wands in the reverse. It's coming across in a very interesting way. There's Neville Goddard. He had a video or somebody who was posting one of his videos, and it came across in the Taurus reading. And I'm getting it with this. It's like a frequency that seems, well, it's obviously, yeah, it's kind of important, although we all navigate it in different ways and maybe are consciously aware of it and not at different times. But this is like not needing other people's approval here, not needing to, not needing other people's validation. And I want to say too, like, because the page to me is about to go into the maze, here. But it's like, right, what's going to lead you? The star. But I feel like a lot of people go into the maze and they get lost. So they don't necessarily feel very good if you actually navigate and get through the maze, because they feel left behind, or maybe they feel inadequate, right? So why would you want their approval? It's just look up to the sky, follow the shining star, and you don't need anybody else's approval here. You're doing this for yourself. You're doing this between you and God. The Seven of Wands. The Six of Pentacles, the Six of Pentacles, ooh, and the Five of Pentacles. See, I said it's like the Seven of Wands feels like it is. This is this talisman energy. And it's the card that leads right into where the foe is. Someone may have been trying to breadcrumb you. This energy is going backwards. They're taken like a backwards. It's been isolated from you. Yeah, I don't know. This feels very, very significant. And okay, the Eight of Wands and the Two of Swords. Making a choice here, coming down and making a real choice. But, you know, sometimes the facts that surround us may not be adequate, or we may not have all the facts, so we have to go with our intuition. And there, that's what I have. It was kind of a cool reading. I'm going to go do the extended. Actually, in the extended, I'm going to do what I did. I think it was Sagittarius where I did this you, foe, friend energy. I'm going to look at what y'all don't know about each other. So what, as you as the collective, what is not known about you, what y'all don't know about the foe, what y'all don't know about your friend. Thank you so much, everyone. Till next time, be gentle with yourselves. Bye.